way, which I think is something a lot of people can relate to. I hope. Oh,
What up, guys? We're here with you. An afternoon rabbit hole radio. What's good? As always, you've got me, your host, Pilgrim X. And then you have the co-host, the official Chris. Our buddy Grayson Bush Jordan is not here. We're watching some conspiracy theory iceberg videos, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of get y'all hit to some shit so y'all can see what all get y'all onto what all we're on.
Oh God, I'm falling.
were the lead warriors.
Where's my pussy?
He looks like a guy kind of called, we're about to be getting a cat over here, and my girl, her cat's big as fuck. It's a Siamese cat.
Existing. The Philosopher's Stone is an idea that was originally put forward by Charlemagne the Great of.
You know what I heard Cat Williams say the other day on Joe Rogan's podcast? Smurfs are homunculi.
Let's just click.
Or they're based off homunculus.
Experiments are something else. Basically, a man by the name of Masaru Emoto was very interested in
Leslie, what's up, sister?
Interaction. Pretty much, he had theories when it came to vibrations in the air and in the earth that they could be used to heal certain individuals and certain ailments. Off of this, he got a very special interest in frozen water. More specifically, the way ice.
Remember Graves was talking about water we're not supposed to drink it the other day. Have you looked into that? He was saying water from fruit.
Much differently compared to waters that came from cities or drainages. Not only that, but according to him, waters that were exposed to pleasing vibrations as well as not pleasing vibrations show different patterns. What does that mean? Essentially, he would take water, set it on a glass, show it pleasant imagery and nice music, and then he'd take another cup of water, show it very harsh imagery, and scream at it and just be very mean to the water. And then he said after he froze them, the water displayed different frozen characteristics. This has been used by some to imply the sentience of water. And according to Dr. Emoto, water is the basis of life and existence itself, and water exists as a...
The water's a living entity?
Just think of what you just said, about the good and bad vibrations, and then, you're 70% water. Like, you're a lot of water. We are a lot of water. And so, come here, Katie. Come on. Jesus Christ. Oh, Mr.
Wow. Honestly, it doesn't seem outside of the realm of possibility of something that could be lying to us.
Apparently, it's like the same way with plants and shit, too. I've seen that if you're play good music for your plants, they'll grow as well.
Dude, I'll be playing the Beatles for my garden whenever I got it growing out there, dude. My plants.
Dude. I've always wanted to start a garden. Okay, let's go a little deeper.
It's never too late. You can start right now. It's that season right now.
Yeah.
You get your seeds
What is this? Birds aren't real. Regenerative death consumption.
To eating the dead.
In
a lot of
know
old world
birds.
beliefs, there were ideas that the body and soul are much more intertwined than we understand them to be. Like, for example, if you ask your average religious person today what happens when someone dies, there is a distinct separation between body and soul. Whereas in several old world beliefs, the body and soul were interlinked until someone did something with the body. Like, for example, the ancient Egyptians believed that their leaders needed to be mummified and have their organs harvested. And a ton of different world religions believed the body either needed to be burned or buried to make sure that the soul gets into the afterlife. So the regenerative death consumption enthusiast asked the question, what if I eat it? Because theoretically, if the soul is still attached to the body and you eat the body, then the soul becomes attached to you. There were old world beliefs that had the idea that if you just ate a bunch of people's bodies, you could not only gain their power, but theoretically their remaining lifespan. So one could theoretically achieve a form of immortality if they just ate enough corpses. A lot of sort of ideas like this became legends for things like Nosferatu, or just vampiric legend in general. And if there's some person you just don't like for whatever reason who's alive today, you can just say that he's a vampire from the 1400s who's been eating people for like 700 years. that's like
Yes.
a joke now, but in the
You always see
1700s,
pictures
that's
of
how
old
the majority of like
celebrities
legal
smoking
trials worked.
for long.
Chakra removal
A long time
is
ago.
the idea that one can take
Kitty.
The whole vampire origin story is kind of interesting.
It's under my chair and then just
Um, my theory for that is it was people who I don't know how you see somebody eating drinking somebody's blood. How do you explain that? They used to think they used in Eastern Europe. They used to think for a long time that people with red hair would become vampires when they died, so they would cut their head off whenever they died, so they couldn't come back to life.
Hmm.
You know, so
That's crazy. I know I've heard the age old, you know, if you eat their heart, you gain their courage, shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this whole
Down, Mr. Kitty.
all this stuff has to have had some kind of origin and reality. You know, it's kind of like Hermes
Yeah,
trying
it
to.
stems from something, huh? Let's see. So there's some stuff we skipped over. Oh. Do you know what these are?
Vita. Tier 6
They
is
blew them
described
up
as
recently, didn't
transcendent
they?
Georgia guides.
reads at
Yeah, I heard that somebody blew them up a couple like last year.
leave room for nature. Two of which of the ancient languages at the top include hieroglyphics from Egypt and Babylonian and Sumerian languages. Located next to the statue is a stone plaque that explains a bit more about it, such as the physical dimensions, as well as the phrase, "Let these be guide stones to an age of reason." The statue has been vandalized several times with
What's
things
up,
such
buddy?
as destroy the New World Order or death to the New World Order, and it is called by many to be the 10 Commandments of the Antichrist. Coriander veins relates to the secret health benefits of coriander, also
Dude,
known
that
as
is crazy.
cilantro.
I did hear
Cilantro,
about
as
them
many
being
of you
blown
may
the
know,
fuck up.
is a very
About what?
Oh, the guidestone's getting blown up?
You
That's
didn't hear about
crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
that?
Remember, God, what's that show? Brad Meltzer's Decoded.
I didn't check that in because I was so turned off by Ancient Aliens. It was hard for me to watch because I used to believe in Ancient Aliens, dude.
That's how, like, I found out about Alex Jones's Bohemian Grove stuff was through Brad Meltzer's Decoded. Let's see what's at the end here. What's some top tier conspiracies? Oh,
Mobile games are going
So
big.
the end is going to be
yes.
the highest level, like
single
crazy.
one of those rules, meaning that the entire human experience is completely curated, which is either very comforting or very terrifying depending on who you are. Oil and resources from humans is the rather depressing thought that there is a good chance a lot of biofuel comes from humans. Now, while with crude oil, it could take, a really long time for the matter of humans to compress into it, it is not a secret that humans go through methogenesis, where their body produces methane, which is absolutely a fuel. So the theory is saying that perhaps the methane gas that you use to heat your home isn't entirely dinosaur fuel and could potentially be one of the 108 billion people who have died on this planet. And of course, some have taken this theory farther to say that perhaps those in power have figured out a quick way to make crude oil and that humans are being farmed as the resource. Feelings autosuppression relates to a...
That was fucking definitely an interesting take. Being compressed into oil.
Like what they say happened to the dinosaurs.
Yeah, and shit like that. Harvested for methane. I mean, because there is a point in the process where you close the box and never see them again.
Sort of global desensitization that has taken place over the last several decades. So to make it more personal, remember the first time that you saw a scary face pop up on YouTube or in a movie and you were a little kid and it scared you really bad, but then after you saw more and more over and over, you kind of quit caring? And you know how that same thing also happened with human suffering? Like the first time you may have heard about a dangerous attack against a group of people, you were very worried, but then it just became such a common thing you quit caring. That constant loop of negative emotions can cause you to suppress them whenever they come to the surface, which is a totally natural human response. However, when this response happens across the entire population for years on end, the results can be a little concerning,
Sam Hill American.
particularly on the next generations moving forward. In other words, children today are not nearly as worried or concerned about world events as perhaps the generation before them was at their age. Because this constant stream of
ridiculous.
negativity
That's
has served to
ridiculous.
cause a
How
worldwide.
do you know, man? How do you know? You don't know. You don't
Well,
know
yeah, dude.
what children were like before. In fact, they're more because they got the internet. It's all about cultures are changing, values are changing because all the kids are plugged into one global internet. Do you get that?
The internet's been around for
I see that for
before
sure.
we
Definitely.
created it.
I can pick up what
Yeah,
you're
it's
putting
been
down
around
there.
a while, right? But
Who
now
created it?
who created it? What a great question. By the way, it's so nice to be on with you and your other guest.
What's
This
up,
is my
buddy?
co-host.
Hey, man.
What's
Co-host.
up, player? This is Sam Hill American. This is Chris. I don't know if y'all met.
Hi, Chris.
Hello, Sam.
Sam doesn't believe in. He watches CNN and believes the news.
Well, why are you
I mean, that's
slandering me? I'll tell you.
He's
Why are you
messing with you.
slandering me? No,
'Cause
what
I'm-
I do is I try to get all of them, and we only have so many choices. I watch Fox, I watch CNN, and I watch Al Jazeera. I don't like them, but I want all different points of view. I watch PBS, I watch these streams. So no, CNN is too lefty for me, man. I'm no lefty, but I want to hear different points of view. And,
Yes,
and
sir.
that's one of the reasons why I like Pilgrim, to get his point of view. He's an intelligent guy. That's why I'm here.
Yes, sir. I fuck with you hard too. Yeah, you.
No, I'm not fucking with you, man.
No, not fuck with you. That's like slang term and shit for I
Oh.
like you and I think you're a cool
Thanks,
person.
man. No, I do believe in some conspiracies. It's just history. I just like weeding out the ones that are true and aren't, but they're interesting, aren't they?
Mhm.
JFK, I don't buy that Oswald. No, I think maybe the CIA and other. So there are true conspiracies. Our government releases papers, Gulf of Tonkin, but not everything. That's all.
Mhm. I think a lot of these conspiracies are put out there to take away from the true conspiracies, like you were saying too, dude.
Yeah.
Like some of these fake ones start to make everybody look like a dumbass that believes in any of it.
I heard Tucker Carlson. I don't agree with everything, but he made an important point that the CIA was intended to handle foreign stuff, but I believe they've gotten involved in internal domestic USA stuff, which is against their purpose. I think that's probably true. You know,
And it's
that's
like
disturbing.
and they're saying that a patriotic American is the number one domestic threat.
Well, that's ridiculous. Patriotic Americans will save this country.
What up, Joe?
Hey,
But that's
Joe, what are you
they're
doing
on-
with that gun? Sorry, go ahead.
No. There was like the vibe is that I'm feeling off of that is that they're wanting you to be patriotic, but not patriotic in the traditional sense. Like, they're thinking more like in the slave mind sense.
Well, yeah, they want control. All governments want control. And we're great because we have a constitution and we're supposed to have a balance. But sometimes, like the media, they've gotten way out of proportion in terms of their
My bad,
control
man.
because of technology. So, yeah.
What's your opinion on that, Chris?
I'm gonna be honest. I missed it. I had to go handle my kid real quick. That's why I went. and turned off my camera.
Some things because of the technology, the media has become too controlling.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. I can definitely see how, the world being connected
Mhm.
does give avenues to mass manipulation to a lot more
Yeah.
people that should have
Yeah.
it, that need it.
Look at TikTok, man. They're a Chinese instrument. It's not bullshit when people complain about TikTok. They're aligned with the communist China. And they're evil.
It's
Their
very
political
different
system.
what
Yeah.
an American child would see on TikTok versus what a Chinese child would see on TikTok. And this is proven stuff.
Oh yeah, it's without doubt, right?
Yeah, they show them science and math and intelligent shit, and they show us over here like the pranks and all the dumbass shit.
Yeah. Well, they're going to do what's best for them. They're a communist nation, and we're democratic, but they're trying to covert, and they're better than the Russians because they play the long game, and they know they don't have to go military. They can corrupt and economically they pull the chains like an
Amen.
African. They're
was just
like
about to talk about that.
smarter, I think, and more evil in a way.
Yeah, they're like covertly putting bases all over Africa, and they're in Latin America now too.
Not covertly, they do it openly. What they
Yeah,
do is
dude,
they
like
come in.
why go to war when you can just get the nation to kill itself?
That's smart, right? Yeah, exactly.
Like,
You take all the
all you gotta do
resources
is
out
put
of
up
there
the
for
youth,
yourself.
you know, give it 6 generations, and then
Mhm.
population won't be fit.
Great point.
Not
Well, they've been
immune to
around for thousands of years, so they long term. Whereas American, we have a political system that the House of Representatives got to get elected every 2 years and senators 4. So they can play the long game, whereas our politicians are interested in 2 years getting elected,
Yeah.
or 4 or 6. I think it's 6 for senators. Sorry. So yeah, they got advantages, but we're still America. I still believe in America, and other
fuck yeah, dude.
times the
Yes, sir.
Japanese were coming for us. So, but I don't know. It's not a sure thing. So we gotta do the right thing, man.
Do you think we're close to a civil war?
What do you think?
Dude, it's just get out there and vote, guys. That's all you
No,
gotta
I don't
do.
think we're
Everyone.
close to a civil war.
Nah, dude, not until we got a
Well, the
long way
power,
to go.
the military and the police still have all the power, so it
So
can
they
get
put
more
down pretty quick.
repressive. But it's bad, right? I don't want American against American, but here we are, and the Chinese love it, and the Russians love it, and that's why people like Pilgrim is important. Tell the truth, or his version of it. I don't agree with him completely, but we're in trouble, right?
That's something we can all agree on, is that like our lives are not. Something's going for a change, dude. You know, it could be a dramatic change or it could be a small change, but something's changing. I feel like
it feels changing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
First time in my life, and I don't know, man. I don't know. But here's the thing, man. We have to live our own individual lives as best we can.
Of course.
Right? It's always been, if you read history, it's always the Depression, the Civil War. I will say, and I don't know who I'm going to vote for, Trump or Biden, but it felt better when Trump was president.
I felt way better whenever like society itself, you know, people were more chill. Everything was costing a good amount. It wasn't costing outrageous.
I think personally, if inflation don't come under control, that Trump's going to win, because we're affected by it, man. Even people with money, the prices are. And what Biden did was he just gave out money. So when he gave out money to people like me, I said, "Well, I don't need it. Why are you giving out all this money?" And you give out all that money, well, of course, inflation happens. So yeah, I don't know about Trump, Biden, but I wish we had someone else, but we might not. They're both too old, in my opinion.
Yeah, 80 some odd years old.
Yeah. Even the 80-year-old people say, no, someone younger.
Yeah, Trump has it a little bit more together mentally, it seems like.
He has energy. When Trump comes out, man, he got energy. That Biden, he kind of stumbles. And, you know, we look at, like, I heard that this Rolling Stone, Mick Jagger, he's like 80, but he's a different kind of 80 than Biden.
See, yeah, the way Biden, I feel like he's been in hell on too many of those floating particles in the air. You know, he's definitely. I'm convinced that cocaine is his medical cocaine that they found in the White House.
Who are we talking about, Biden?
Mm-hmm.
You know, J.F. Kennedy took drugs for his back, and yeah, we don't know, huh? It could be, man. It could be.
No, we don't know fully everything.
A lot of older people take drugs of some kind. But Trump's no spring chicken, man. Trump is like, what's he, 75 or something, man?
No, I think he's 79.
79. Wow.
He'll
He
be 80
stumbles
this
too,
year.
you know. He stumbles.
Guys, I gotta leave. My kids freaking out. Y'all take it easy.
Oh,
Don't have
kids
too much
first,
fun.
for sure, man.
Peace out, pimpin'.
Sam, nice to meet you. Hopefully we talk more, but I got
Chris. Nice to meet you.
Peace out,
Smart
brother
guy.
Chris.
You want to co-host a Shaw today, Pilgrim?
Let's do it.
Yeah, it might promo your stream, man. I'm gonna do it at 3:30 Pacific. I don't know where you are.
I'm Eastern time.
Well, that'll be 6:30, I guess. Just come on up, man, and promo your channel. And I was gonna do it on Freaks. Kind of strange, but I have this guy named AOC. I don't know if you know him, Alex.
I've heard a little bit about that whole thing, but I don't know, claim to know too much.
Well, he's very hairy, and he got hair on his back, which is weird but kind of funny. He got these clumps of hair on his back, and I was thinking, maybe his relatives were like the hair in the freaks in the circus. It's very possible. It's not politically correct now, but in the day, my grandfather would talk about going to circus, and they would have these freak shows. So I'm interested, not dwell on it, but yeah, I'm interested in people who are so different and freaks. So I was going to talk about freaks if you're interested. I don't know.
Fuck yeah, dude! I seen a sword eater before. He put a sword all the way down his throat, and he
Oh.
said, he was like, "If y'all's moms could do this shit, you wouldn't even be here."
I think they put some kind of liquid to smooth it down. is the way
Something,
they
dude.
do
Maybe
it.
the sword like retracts or some shit.
Could
That
have
shit.
been. There's a
crazy.
method to it. So those sword swallowers have probably been around forever in Jesus' day.
Guaranteed since Jesus times, dude.
Yeah, right. But the human condition is the same. And that's why I'm against racism, because we all want basic. There's this guy named Maslow. We all want, whatever race you are, we want to be loved, respected, shelter, feed our family. Although there are some really, really bad guys out there. But
From
generally,
any race,
what?
really from any race, but I've noticed
But
that
there's some
60% of
countries
the violent
that
crime is committed by.
say, and I know there's good Muslims, but I think it's part of their religion that if you're not Muslim, you're less. You're an infidel, and
You gotta be
if you're
some kind of
Muslim and convert, you're in big trouble. So no, there are nations that are hideous, China, Iran, right? But generally, the human condition, most of us want the same thing.
And what do you think that is?
Oh, there's a check out Maslow's hierarchy. Can you bring that up by any chance?
Let me see. I'm going to it right now. How do you, Mazlow?
No. It's Maslow, and then hierarchy, and he tells what most people want. It's very famous, and I like it a lot. He lists the thing that people need.
All right, hell yeah. Let me see.
Do you see it?
Popping it up, sharing it.
It's very famous. But I think it speaks to the human condition. It's not bullshit. No, it'll list there it is. Yeah. I don't know if you can bring that up.
Is it popping? Let me see.
If not, that's okay. We can talk about it on Shaw.
Shaw, that's your show?
Sam Hill's America. Yeah.
You have is it getting pretty crazy over there, dude?
Sometimes, like, we got this clip of these two people going at it. I just came from this Hostbuster, and people are playing that clip. It's pretty popular. You never know what's going to happen on Shaw. Sometimes it's just me, and sometimes things happen. But I'm secure enough that I don't have to go for views. You know what I mean?
Kind of shit.
But it should be filled in, that triangle. Maybe it will be.
Yeah, dude, I'd be honored to go on the Shaw, dude.
Oh man, I'd be honored to have you. You're a smart dude. Great. I want great guests. I don't like average guests. You know what? I'll bring it up. We could talk about it on the show. I don't mean to.
No, you're fine. Yeah, dude.
I would
I'm
look
gonna do a
without
little bit of research
YouTube.
into it.
Without YouTube. No, it's. You'll see, it's pretty basic. But if you think about it, I mean, the races can be different based on their culture, but all people and all basically most people want those things. Everybody wants respect, and I don't even like the divisions. I wish we would all declare ourselves Americans first, not Irish American, Black American, but that's not the way it is. But it'd be better for our country, right? Not to define ourselves and divide ourselves. Not that I like globalism. No, I'm an American. Want no globalism. I've had a guest who was a globalist. I love my country, man. My ancestors have fought for this country, you know? with blood.
No,
So no, I don't like
globalist.
anti-American. I call people out. This globalist Terry would come up and I call him out. We've done bad stuff, but we're better than anyone else because we have a constitution. That's okay. We'll bring up Maslow when you come on. Don't worry about it. All right.
Yeah, you'd have to introduce me to these people. I'd have to kind of. I'd feel. I don't know if I'd talk about them until I get to know them.
Yeah, we'll just talk, man. And I don't. If somebody may come up, they may not. But the deal is, let's talk about views because they're important, but they're not be all. So I'll go solo, and I'll basically get the same number of views than when I bring guests on, except when some great things happen, like on the last stream. It wasn't even me. It was two people going at it. So they even did a clip, right? So I've been involved in talking on this. They were showing my clip, so I got involved on that. It's called Hostbusters. I've been on that for 4 hours, but I had enough. They brought up a troll. So then I saw you. I've been wanting to come on with you for a while, man.
So man, dude, see, I ain't never fucked with no trolls yet. I've had a lot of like, I've had some negative comments on some of my shit, but.
Well, I've been around 6 years. So if you have any questions, like you have to have boundaries. So when they come up and they say vile things, if it involves doxing or kids or parents, get rid of them. I have you'll find out where your boundaries are. Some people will put up with more trolls than others. You'll find out what you want, man. Right? But you will get trolls when you get big. Sure.
I've noticed that the more I've been doing this shit, the more there have been being trolls and people that think that they know what they're talking about coming out the woodworks, dude.
Well, think about it. The more you become known, you're going to get some crazies. And a lot of people are going to be jealous of you because you're an interesting, smart guy. You're top tier, I say.
Type of shit. You know, people that like mediocre motherfuckers and shit be hating and shit too. You know, they'll be, you know, the shit's natural sometimes, I feel like, really. You know, then there's like a sense of like, kind of like with you, dude, like, you know, the same thing to you though, dude. You have a very natural radio voice. You're hilarious.
Oh, really? People make fun of my voice, but I like it because it's identifiable.
Exactly.
Right? It's not as good as Howard Stern, but people know it's mine.
I know that's.
I like your voice too, by the way. I like it a lot. Stream-wise, you have skills, but there's so many negative, unhappy people that as you become bigger, you're going to get trolls and unhappy. See, the trolls are generally unhappy people, right? And they want you to be unhappy, but they go at me, man. 6 years, but here I am. They've taken down my channels, but I've proven myself, Pilgrim, so I get to be competent. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've gotten past 1,000 subs a number of times. I'm not a big streamer, but I don't know if I want to be. I'd like to try it one day, but because you become stream, this is what happens, right? So let's say you get 10,000 subs. Well, then people are going to want to take you down. So you're going to lose 10,000. Like I've woken up, I had 100 videos on, right? On something, I was porn bomb, woke up the next morning, the whole channel down, lost 100 videos. So the more you got in the game, the more you got to lose. So I'm now at 1,100 subs. I get to meet people like you, so I'm satisfied. I've proved myself, so I get to talk whatever I want with you.
What do you think about people getting into this shit, trying to get into it for the money?
I think, and you can tell me your opinion. I think I pay for cable. If you entertained and you don't swindle people and you say it honestly, I think that's fine. Let people donate as long as you're honest about it. What do you think?
That kind of sums it up pretty good for me too. I feel the exact, you're offering like your time and entertainment to people, and also if you start selling merchandise, that's product and stuff. So it's not just you're sitting there doing like expecting doing nothing to it's not like you're doing nothing to get this. You're giving people entertainment. I feel like so. I think.
Do you accept donations?
Yes, I do.
So when you come on today, and it should happen. I mean, I can't say 100%, but it should happen. List your donations because more people. You never know how many people are going to show up. Like the best time to stream is not now, it's at night. And you're
So
going to get more
nighttime.
people, right? Yeah.
I've noticed that we got 3 watching. I'm grateful for all of them, but fucking at nighttime it has been higher.
Well, the trick is like most people would be a superstar if a million people see you, because out of that group, you're going to get some people like you. So there's this guy Poon Handler, or let's talk about Geno, because you know Geno, all right?
Mhm.
By the way, did you know that he flashes his penis when he gets mad?
I don't want to fuck with him like that. I don't know,
Okay.
like
Well, he has porn bomb me, sir.
type of shit. Like we've had good vibe the whole time and shit. Like,
Then
you know,
keep
I
it.
feel like if y'all two could come together, that would be an
No,
amazing
I'll never come
thing.
together with him.
You know, if we could, because that shit that was hilarious. Y'all's
Oh, we're good
interaction.
on there. Yeah. What this is what I like to do. I think you know, I don't have a PhD. I do have 2 master's degrees and 2 teaching credentials. But my point is, I think I'm smarter than most people. So with Geno, he's smarter than just about everybody, but he's not me. So I like to outwit. All I have to do is to have a conversation with him. But if other people will overtalk, that's a technique they do, right? So you go on some shows, you're going to be controlled, like they'll turn down the volume. So this is where you get to be yourself most of all. My job, it's a hobby, but my role is to make sure people are heard. And I like, most of all, I like one-on-one, like right now. But I'll let people come up for sure. So,
It's a clusterfuck with a whole bunch of people I've noticed before.
well, dude, yeah, I've been in, they've taken down my channels. But the thing, the worst of all is being slandered, and people will believe it just because they put it out there. There's not much you can do about that, but except deny it if it's the truth. So people can attack me, and that's they even say I'm old. I'm not, but okay. But not the I met the slanders. I met my wife at 16. I never did, and there's no proof, and it didn't happen. But just being out there, people grab onto it. So for me, that's the hardest thing, the slander, the unfairness. But as you get, you're going to get more popular because you got skills. It's a matter of going on different shows if you want more subs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Poon Handler. Hopefully, some people you'll be introduced to them. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'd fuck with these people. I wouldn't want to ruin any connections I have with anybody else I built up by meeting other people. You know, does that make sense? I mean, it's not no big
completely. But your experience with Geno is good. So learn but don't be afraid to listen, because then you could say, Sam, that's bullshit. Geno's a great guy. If you believe that. But you're gonna have to be, you're gonna hear all different kinds of things, and just go with your heart, man. You don't depend on the money. I have never taken a cent, but that's me. In fact, I've gotten very lucky this year on the stock market, which people tell me, like AOC said, I'm poor. Okay. So I took out my, he came on, I took out my brokerage statement, and I don't like usually talking about money, but if people say I'm poor, I made one brokerage is over $1 million
So you're
on a
doing good.
stock that I paid $1,900 for. My grandfather gave me money, $1,900. If you know NVIDIA, just follow. It's phenomenal. It went up 40 points yesterday. That's like $40 a share. So I just bring up my life, but I don't like talking about money. But if I'm attacked, okay, let's talk. That's all. But bring up any stuff. Now, with you, I have to say that we have to, free speech is cool, but it's not free speech because it's controlled by YouTube. YouTube can take us down. So I'm going to have to be careful. So some of your conspiracy theories I want to talk about, but say you want to talk about, I won't even, virus. Well, YouTube will take you down for certain things. So I tend to be careful. That's all.
Talking about certain things with shots and stuff
Certain
like that.
conspiracies. You know what I mean? So we can talk about some, but if you're on my channel and you go into, I don't know if they do it now, but that YouTube used to take you down for talking about COVID. I'm not giving an opinion on it. So it's cool to say, oh, free speech. But if they're going to take down your channel, you got no speech.
Exactly. I've my shit was almost. I got a strike a couple like last month. I have lasted until May.
What do you mean? You didn't get a warning?
No, yeah, no, it wasn't. I guess I had a warning from 2 years ago that I had like settled in, but it was very weird, dude. I got this strike. It was a video of a guy in India. He was getting beaten by the women in the village. Because he and then they just gave me an instant strike for that.
It sounds interesting, you know.
Yeah, it was badass. I was on Twitter.
It's hard to tell. I got sometimes I'll get a strike on. They didn't even tell me the last strike. They just said you violate community, and then they say, "Well, appeal." But if they don't like the way you appeal, they'll take down your whole channel. So it gets very weird.
So, dude, that is sketched out, dude. Like, and that's what I was thinking about, all the hard work and shit, going years of trying to build this shit up, and it gets turned down.
Sometimes it's funny. Like, I'll just get something, I'll get on cool on a stream, and I'll get a bunch of subs, whereas I do a better stream and I get none. So the bottom line, we'll just have a good conversation, and hopefully good things will. At least I get a lot of replay because some people are afraid to come and chat because I'm targeted. But there'll be a lot of people replaying today. So make sure that I'll give you say hello and chat anytime before the show, and I'll make you a mod. Once you're a mod, you can put in your link. Make sure you put in your link, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to change the title of this video.
I do that all the time. You know, I change the. I like to reflect what happened. So if you come in a stream and the title is Freaks, I'll include your name after Freaks. not that you're a freak. I mean, you might be, but I don't know. You never know. It's what kind of freak you are. If you're like a good freak, you don't hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so come on over, man. It's just Sam Hill American.
I'm sub to you. Is anybody yeah, I fuck with you. Let me go to the shit real quick too, because I want to. I'm definitely, dude. You know, I'm not in this shit. You know, getting money would be nice. That's why I was talking about it a second ago. But the reason I'm into this shit is to try to put my what I believe to be a dying message out there. You know, to keep it going somehow.
What is the dying message?
You know, just stay true to yourself, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I noticed you have like a fucking this shit too. There's like the robot shit that you're
back.
In my chat, you mean? I use no robot. I don't even put up DMs.
I
did have sexual relations with that woman. She just happened to be a 10-year-old Filipino girl. What is what?
Well, what is that? Is that like they said that was AI?
Okay, look, that's not me. Do you know that's not me?
I know that's not you. Yeah, I know that's not you.
Yeah, I got these trolls. This guy said he got AI, so he went all the places, the people I like Abe, and he made like he was me. And Abe believed it because it sounds like my. Now you got that's my.
This is the real.
I love Cobain. Yeah, that is me.
Dude, I got Nirvana tattoo right here.
Nice. Oh man, we could talk about Cobain. Yeah,
he was murdered. I'm gonna have to start getting ready.
We could talk about that. We could talk about that if you want.
Yeah, we have all kinds of topics, dude. I'll start doing my homework and shit, dude, and start writing.
You know what I do?
Get ready.
You know, this is what I do. First of all, I'm good at monologuing. Someone said, "Did I write?" I never write down a speech, but I will take a piece of paper and I'll write down 10 things maybe I want to talk about. It'll take me like 10 minutes, so I will do that. But you do whatever works for you. Yeah, that's Freaks. Those are real pictures of freaks.
There's a point in history whenever they'd be thrown off of a fucking mountaintop.
Probably so, huh? Yeah.
That's sad.
But in America, they were a big part of circuses back in my grandfather's
Or the culture.
Or the culture. You go to the circus and there'd be side rooms. One side room, they'd go in these they'd have a woman going topless. And then another one, a popular one, was a freak show. So you give your money, you go in and you see freaks. So it's exploitive, But back in the day, it was a way for these people to make money.
Hmm.
And they had this little community down in Florida where the freaks and the little people would go. So they had their own culture. So, I mean, there's no more freak shows, but in a way, it provided them a life.
Whereas now they freaking,
What do they do now? I don't know. There's no
you
more
know,
freak shows, right?
I guess they're just collecting checks.
Yeah, I don't know what they do, man. But
Hmm.
it is there's us and there's the other. So I'm interested in the other, whether it be Chinese or short or they're like
They probably have
tribalism.
freak.
Go ahead.
No, it's my bad. I said they probably have freak shows going on in China still to this day.
You know, probably some countries they probably still have them.
Like
I bet you're right.
backwards kind of shit.
Yeah. I mean, I'd go just because it's fascinating, different, or oddity. And we
Mhm.
can all end up, it's like we can all end up in a car accident, whatever. We could all end up in prison. That's why I like prison dramas, because I did things in my life, like I beat up a guy, he ended up in the hospital. I could have ended up in jail.
Mm.
You know, praise the Lord, I didn't. But I think that's why, like, I don't want to be in a prison. There's bullshit that, I'll just end it. No, because you're having your freedom. I was locked up one time as a juvenile. I don't know about you.
I've been there a couple times.
Yeah, it stinks. It's not, these people say the lefties. And I'm no lefty, but even if you go to these better jails, the idea is that you don't have freedom. You can't. That's it, man. I mean, there's a lot worse, but being locked up, they take
Fuck
away your
yeah,
freedom.
dude. That is not the place, dude. Like
No.
you gotta like kind of submit. That shit is not a good place to be at for sure, dude. That's definitely like that's not. You should do everything you can to avoid that shit. And that's what a lot of people in my generation are. They're very reckless and quick to do shit that wouldn't put them in jail.
Well, I think you're just talking about a developmental process. Young people of all generations tend to rebel, but
Sure.
so people come on and say, "Well, I can beat you. I'm tough," and I say, "Yeah, but the toughest people you want to come across are in prison. So there's more to life than you prove that in high school, but at some point in this society." It's not. There's not good outcomes. If you beat up the guy, you end up in jail, or he'll sue you. I mean, you still got to fight and defend yourself, but don't be quick to fight. And the martial arts people, I did a little martial arts. I'm no pro, but most of them don't go around boasting because they're secure. So you get
They know.
secure. Yeah. Anyway, so if you want, I mean, I've gone 19 hours one time. I'm that guy.